What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy TallShon. You're now tuned into Music 101's own The Spotlight. Spotlight is me just talking with dope artists. I'm getting back into the interview setting, especially with the pandemic not over, but slowing down. The pandemic, whatever. We're not gonna get into that. But I have a special guest, the Honorable Rise Rashid. What's going on, my brother?
It's good, bro. Glad to see you. Always good to see you.
You know how we do, man. Same thing here, brother. So, man, look, you got a lot going on. I've been watching you on the socials. I see what you're doing. Yeah. This new project dropping soon, shit.
6 days right now.
You're right.
November 1st.
So what's the name of it?
So Coach Rise, man. I went with the title of just me. It's almost self-titled, but it's really not, because it's my title as a coach, and then myself as an artist, Rise.
That's fire. So Coach Rise, you just wanted to chill.
You know what I'm saying?
Just wanted to chill. You just dropping mad Adidas merch. So I can see, I understand where that's coming from. So what was the thought between this project?
So on the past mixtapes, I've always, I did Microphone X, Microphone Marley, Microphone Jackson. I was finding myself who I am. These are all people I admire.
Right.
Malcolm, I feel like a piece of me is Malcolm, a piece of me is Bob Marley, a piece of me is Michael Jackson, so forth and so on. But I wanted an album that was just purely me, that I felt like I found myself after, between 2018 and now. Okay. I found exactly the place and the person that I am in that space, in this moment in time, and I wrote it out into an album.
Fire.
Somebody asked me recently though. They said, "So is this album about basketball?" I'm like, "Nah, it's not."
Right.
Ball players can relate, but people who are mentored and who mentor are going to relate. Real everyday dudes and ladies, and like, you just gonna relate. It's a very relatable project to the time that we live in right now and have lived in over the past 3 years.
Okay.
4 years.
So, man, like you just said, you expressed the different projects that you release. Where will you put this particular body work? Because I've heard it and I'm loving what I heard. So where will you put this at?
This is definitely above all.
Whoa.
It's above all the projects I've done. I think in previous projects, I always had a really good selection of songs.
Right.
But with this one, it's just, like I said, it found all of me, and it just grouped in everything that I am and have become as a man, as a father, as a coach, as a mentor, as a human, man. It's a bottled up human, and it's the story of that human. And I think it is, like I said, it's very relatable, not just to the people. I've mentored thousands, and I've been involved in thousands of lives when it comes to young people.
Right.
Passing through high school and even after they, are out of high school, and not just on the basketball court.
Right.
In life. But this album is not just going to relate to those people. I feel like it relates to everybody, and everyone who's having a human experience. It's going to touch. It's going to reach you.
That's dope.
I survived the pandemic, defied the odds and all the oppositions it presented. I told the guys, know your role and play your own position. We gon' rise, get the goal and roll the competition. Now let's get it. Win them all and keep the losses off us. Keep your circle small and always be alert and cautious. First you put in work, now they gotta call us bosses. And we deserving all the calls, texts, and applauses. Clap for us.
Pressure's coming.
Clap for us. Clap for us.
It's a 4-point deficit.
Clap for us.
And a steal in the corner by
Clap for
Tsiswhoiam.
us. We was down in overtime.
You put this one up high, and I respect that. Especially your body of work. I know your body of work. You got some other projects that's super fire. So I definitely give you that. So basketball season's about to start back up.
On the day the album drops.
So how you gonna promote what we doing?
So the dope thing about it is, I usually will release an album like around January, February, and that way by the time it really sizzles up,
Mhm.
I'm able to get on the road and travel, promote by spring and summer.
Right.
This time it just happened to land on basketball season, but
Right.
when you think about the concept of the album and the title of the album being Coach Rise,
Right.
every time I step into a practice, that is me living what the actual album is. Every time I talk to a young person or just everything that I'm going to be living in that space of basketball season, being November 1st to, we win another chip on March 12th, all of that, that's the selfie. Whatever is
Right.
in that space is definitely a promo for the project.
Right.
And then of course, when you have a good piece of work,
Right.
and you got to push it, you push it by any means necessary, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm here right now with you. We talking about it.
Right.
There's a list of other people that you the first one, but there's a list of
That's
other
right.
people that we'll be talking to, traveling, stages that will be touched, all in the midst of basketball season.
fine.
So it never stops.
Nah, it definitely doesn't stop, man. I mean, once again, I've listened to the project thoroughly. I ride to it in my car. You know what I mean? I definitely ride to it. So, guys ain't me. So you can't get it early.
November 1st.
November 1st, tap in. So what is on this project, what's that one record that will signify what this particular body of work means for you?
That's a great question, by the way, because I can think of several, but if there's
Just that one.
if there's one, it's Cause and Effect, which is number 4 on the
Yeah.
album.
Mm-hmm.
Cause and Effect was really one of the first songs I wrote for the project, and I wrote it, and had it sitting, and then of course I grew the rest of the project kind of from Cause and Effect.
Right.
And the idea about it was exactly like the title says, the things that you do cause reactions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those causes obviously cause,
Yeah.
they all have an effect.
Right.
So yeah, everything that I was talking about on that one song,
Yeah.
really, it just groups up the whole entire project. It almost could have been the intro,
The intro is fire, so I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying?
But I get what you're saying.
Again,
Yeah.
I wrote an album about what I lived,
Mhm.
and then what I did, and then what happened after doing all those things.
Right.
So Cause and Effect is definitely the one record that captured the whole album.
So during this project, during the creation of this project, you recorded it.
I did.
How did that feel? Because that's a different creative space, man. You're the writer,
Yeah.
but then you gotta engineer
Yeah,
it.
engineer.
You know what I'm saying? And we can get in our way sometimes, man.
That's funny you say that. The thing that I realized, because I mixed my projects before,
Right.
but I realized this time.
That's right, you mixed this one
Yeah,
too.
but I realized how to get out of my own way.
Mm.
Experiment with some other things.
Right.
Step away from it. Instead of just grinding,
Right,
and not
right.
giving myself a moment to step away from it and come back.
Right.
That's really what made it, to me, better in that space than all the other projects, because I figured out how to get out of my own way and make the project what it's supposed to be and what it's going to be, and not overcorrect or
Right.
undercorrect anything.
But see what you just said though. Got out of your own way. So many people, not just artists, people have a hard time. Like, yo, that shit is perfect. Let me step. Look, I'm a victim of that going on right now. So I definitely know how you feel and I had to step away. You know what I mean? Like, all right, this shit is gonna be where it's gonna be. It looks dope where it is. Let's move forward.
Experience and wisdom, though, teaches you that.
Yes,
you know
it
what I'm
does.
saying?
Yes, it does.
Once you go through enough things and learn enough, you start realizing, I was actually in my way on that one, or on that, in that situation, or whatever the case might be. And again, the wisdom, when you retain it and you understand, all right, I'm not gonna make that same mistake.
Right. So.
Yeah, ride for the cause, get fly for the effects. I don't give a fuck, that's my wife and I having sex. I'm rarely ever home, and hardly ever rest. I feel like Nip on his hustle the last time that I checked. I'm one of the hottest that never signed a dotted line, but I've been on my P's and Q's, crossed T's and dotted I's. You couldn't walk a mile in my shoes, that's not your size. I got stripes, you can check my Nikes and Adidas. And I be Rise, they know where I'm headed. They know if they bet against me, they gon' regret it. Know I got that pressure on me and I never sweat it, I'm a vet.
Labels is watching, people is paying attention. Is that something you want to do?
If somebody wants to talk business, we can always talk business.
Right.
That's not something I'm chasing.
Okay.
The days of chasing business suits
Right.
in a record label fashion, those things are over.
I agree.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
You know, like you said, labels are watching.
Yeah.
I have friends and family in the music industry at different levels.
Right.
They know who I am and what I do.
Right.
But I'm just not chasing anybody, man. You know, I chase a good product.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Perfecting what my craft is and making sure that the people that listen to me, which I'm blessed to have.
Your fan base.
Yeah, I'm blessed to have a big fan base with no label at all. You know, but that just came from, you know, years of those causes, and this is the effect now.
Okay,
so.
okay. I mean, I respect that. I think we're in a time where a label is not totally needed in the sense of distribution.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we can distribute ourselves. When it comes to marketing and promote different aspects of that, then maybe. But if you get in capital. But if you can get the right brand ambassadorship or brand deal, marketing deal, you kind of don't even need that. Yeah. So I definitely understand, you know, not chasing it. But, you know, like you said, a meeting is a meeting. You can always sit down and talk. If it makes sense, it makes sense. So I definitely understand.
I'm not one of those guys, and you know this, you know the person. I'm not one of those guys that's like, nah, I'm gonna stay independent my whole life. I don't want to sign no record deal. Come on, that's stupid. Right? You know.
Yo, I just had an artist tell me that shit, and I looked at him in the face.
But what are you doing it for?
Yeah, I said, yo, what's your bills like? How much money you bringing in? But see, the difference is with them and you is this right here. It's bringing in some chicken.
Yeah.
It's doing all right for you.
The merch did all right. Make sure y'all go to RiseRashid.com and get you some merch. Man.
Quality merch. I'm not gonna turn this into a commercial, but it's quality merch. It's definitely quality. Well, I don't call it merch anymore. That's just an extension of your brand. So that's your clothing line, and definitely, you know, that's your brand. You got your name on it, so that's your brand, and it definitely quality work, man. So basketball season ends. Hopefully, y'all pull another one of these out. I gotta make it to a game this year, man. I know I've been saying for the longest I need to make it to a game, but I haven't been to a high school basketball game in a long time, and I can't come to y'all game if I don't go to the high school I graduated from. So I gotta go home first because there's a bunch of people at home, even my old coach. My old coach got on me recently. You need to come back, checking us out. I'm like, yeah, you're right, coach. I do. I ain't been back in a long time. So I was out. So I need to go back.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta go back there. You don't want to post up, because if you post up where we at, that stuff go everywhere.
Hey, I know. Y'all brand is different over there, man. But so when the basketball season ends, then it's go time with the project. What is your? Do you have a prediction of what you want to see from this, or do you just want it to grow gradually and you cool with how it progresses?
Well, the latter first. Okay. I definitely want to see how it progresses, and I want it to grow over time because it's not a flash in the pan album.
Right.
Like I really feel like some of the records, if not the entire record as itself, is timeless.
Right.
You know, it is, like I said, it capsules a certain moment in time that we're all living in right now and have lived in the past couple of years, and we'll be living in for the next few years.
This is the normal.
I wanna really, you know, have this album grow gradually into what it's going to become. Now, I do have in mind what I think it will end up being, which, like I said, is a timeless piece of work. And you know, though I have projects I've done before, I feel like this is the start to the next book.
Right.
You know, that I'll be writing. So.
No, I'm with that. So, it's crazy, man. We in a time of EPs. You know what I'm saying? We in a time of small pint-sized pieces of work. You know what I'm saying? So what made you decide to put a full-length project together? How many records on it?
15.
15, yeah. 15 it's a number of records. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so what made you do that? Like, what was your thoughts?
So the last time I released an album with this many records on it was January of 2018.
Oh, wow.
Between then and let's say 6 months ago, I released 2 EPs. I released a live album, and I did a compilation album, which
Live
was
album was fine too.
Where I appreciate that. Staging the Pandemic.
Yeah. And I watched what you did, the bunch of video too. Yeah, I watched all that. Yeah, that was fire.
But I hadn't. There's a certain creativity that you have to put into an album that's track 1 through 15. You know, everything has to sit correctly for that portrait to make sense to the person that's going to press play and listen through.
Right.
You know, even if they skip a couple records, it still has to be a certain, you know, like I said, portrait that is looking back at the person that's listening. And I wanted to do that again because I feel like I'm better at that than making a single song. Right.
I respect that.
So I knew right away after doing the last EP, which was Love and War, I knew I wanted to make an album. I struggled a moment to try to find my voice. I didn't know what to say, how I was to say it.
Right.
I had said so much, had lived so much, had done so many things. But again, back to that Cause and Effect record, once I wrote that, I knew, all right, boom, this is what you say and how you say it. And then the pen just started flowing from there, man. And records just started coming out of everywhere. You know how I
Oh yeah, I think, man, to be honest with you, the acts that put together full-length projects are the ones that have staying power. They're the ones that's looked at as upper echelon artists, the Coles, Kendricks, the Drakes, the so forth and so on. You got Styles P continues to drop a project, at least 2-3 projects a year, and full-length project bodies of work that's doing well. The Griseldas of the world, they drop projects. So I think dropping a full-length project, because for me, a friend of mine, him and I, we debate this all the time. He doesn't listen to full-length projects. He takes what he likes, throw it on the playlist. Me, I will sit with your project. You know what I mean? Like, I sit with your project front to back, and because I still love that vibe of listening to a cohesive body of work, especially if the body of work blends well. When that shit be all over the place, I'm like, all right, I'm good on this one.
And the crazy thing is, that's just a playlist. When people put together an album, and that's their thing, that's what they do. But when people put together an album, and like you said, it's like, all right, this joint is over here, that one's over there, this is it. All right, that's just a playlist.
I agree.
That is a little easier to make.
Yeah.
When track 1 has to tie into 2 through 15 at that,
right,
and nothing contradicts itself, nothing is too far right or too far left, and it's all balanced. That's a skill and a talent in itself, and I think that I've definitely got to a point where I know that skill, best I can at this very moment in time.
Facts. So, man, look, it was great sitting down with you, man. Let the people know where we need to catch you at, what's going on.
First of all, November 1st at midnight, so October 31st at midnight, okay? Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, whatever you on, make sure you go and listen to Coach Rise album. Press play at the intro, listen to it straight through. If you wish to create a playlist after that, you're going to pick quite a few songs off of that playlist. Pull it off. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you at RiseRashid.com. Get yourself some merch. I'm gonna probably drop. I'm gonna do a price drop for the first week of the album.
All right.
So be on the lookout for that. And also I'm thinking I want to work on. Or I'm working on. I'm not saying I want to work on. I'm getting ready to say something. I didn't want to let the cat out the bag, but I'm going to do it. But I'm going to work on a docuseries. I'm working on a docuseries where Coach Rise and the things that you're hearing on the album, you actually get to see in real life.
Oh, that's going to be crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So,
that's going to be crazy.
I'm excited about that.
I think it's about time we did one, man. I think it's about time we did one anyway.
It is.
I think, package it with the project, man. Let that roll right on out afterwards. I think that's fine.
I'm saying I'm going to be working, but we've got the pilot done already.
See, I figured. I know you. I've already know you already got a piece of this done already, so there ain't nothing to it.
Absolutely. So I'm excited about it, though. You know, like I said, Coach Rise is the start to something.
Fine.
You know, very, very amazing. It's gonna happen from now on.
That's what I'm talking about. But y'all know how I do, man. So it's your boy TallShon, Tsiswhoiam. Make sure you follow what I'm doing here with Music 101 The Spotlight, but also every Saturday check out my show Music 101 from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's every single Saturday, unless I tell you something different. Also, I might just be on the lookout for Sirius Satellite Radio and me with doing some stuff with Sirius Satellite Radio. I just did a guest spot recently on Channel 45, and we talking.
Keep it locked.
Just keep it locked down, man. All right, man. It's Rise Rashid. I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, Channel, for sure.
All right, man. Peace.
Yo, Rise Rashid. November 1st, the album, Coach Rise.
Coach Rise up in his Chris Clemens white leather. Yeah.
For the past couple of years, man, I ain't dropped the album in a minute, but I've been living a little, man. You know, still traveling as an artist, doing my thing. Coaching, of course. Win a couple of championships, collect a couple medals, you know, holding it down. Shout out Skyward Marketing and Management, Collins Boy Music Group, Cat's Eye Entertainment. Big shout out to the Millbrook Wildcats, you know, state champions currently, and everything else, man. Big shout out to you too. You sitting here watching this joint. Make sure you mark on your calendars, November 1st, Coach Rise. That album is crazy. Get that.